guys, welcome back to the WODDoc Project 365, episode 703. I'm out here at the Rock Tape Movement Summit in Denver, Colorado, and I just had an awesome seminar by Dr. Eric Goodman. I asked him where he was from. He said Florida, but he's actually a nomad. He goes all over the place teaching foundational training, and man, it was so mind-blowing to me. Things that I thought that I was decent at, it turned out that I'm not very decent, but that happens all the time. Either way, his course was so good, I just wanted to share it with you. So I came up to him, I said, hey, listen, how can we relate some of these things to, functional fitness, and take it away from here.
Let's just relate a couple things. Hope you listen a little bit. I'm not going to go too long. So first, thanks. I appreciate it. It's awesome to have anybody sharing our work. I really appreciate it. There's a couple really simple principles from foundation training that you as a CrossFit athlete or any weight athlete can really benefit from. The first one is this expansion of the torso, the decompression breathing that I was teaching you all in there. Mm-hmm. So let's show them a really basic tutorial on that.
Okay.
Right? First and foremost, your feet are going to line up differently than you're used to. You're going to make the outside angle of your feet parallel. So the outside edges of the feet are going to be parallel. It looks like the toes are pointing in just a little bit. The next most important piece is all the way at the top of the head. We're going to pull the chin back in such a fashion that when we pull the chin back, the chest lifts just a little bit. You're going to take your thumbs and you're going to make a little shaka sign. Thumbs at the base of the rib cage, pinkies at the pelvis. Find that pointy pelvic bone and find right where the rib cage becomes the meat of the belly. Put it right there. Now every inhalation and a decompression breath is going to increase the distance on that shaka sign, but it's also going to increase the distance back here. You're going to elongate the back of the rib cage as well. So every inhalation builds and expands the rib cage. Remember, the lungs are within the ribs. And every exhalation is going to keep the abdomen long and tight. So the breath in fills the rib cage. The breath out maintains the height and width of the rib cage and tightens the belly. All right, shake that off for a couple seconds. I want you all to practice that simple breathing exercise for 5 or 10 rounds, maybe 3 or 4 breaths each round. Just get it down, and then I'm going to teach you a basic hinge pattern, a founder exercise that's going to use that breathing exercise and teach you to hinge your hips pretty well.
One quick thing, it's okay to lift the chest, and that's something that I definitely was re-educated on, because I was always taught like any movement in the chest, it's belly breathing, right? And that's the big difference between belly breathing and what we're talking about now, which is breathing and filling our lungs, our whole torso, rib expansion, right? So what we were taught previously was like one hand on the chest, one hand on the tummy. As soon as that chest moves at all, the breath is shut off. And today that expansion, right, and allowing, I get, some chest movement. Right?
Yeah, you need, your rib cage is a very rigid structure unless it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is breathe with the ribs and with the lungs. When your lungs expand, there should not be a rigid rib cage stopping them from expanding. And if all you're doing is belly breathing all day, and I'm not saying belly breathing is bad, but you gotta expand your rib cage sometimes. You have to re-educate that axial skeleton, the central structure of the human frame, towards expansion. And it's not because you have to be bigger and broader and all that. It's because all this time sitting in cars and playing on phones and even lifting weights and stuff like that has shrunken your torso into itself. It's converged into itself.
I'm really good at this.
So now watch. Stay here and watch how big he gets when he breathes big. So breathe into the ribs. Do a couple decompressions. Pull the chin back. Plant the feet. And now stay right there. And we're just going to take him into a nice little founder pose now. So he stays really tall. The chin stays back. And now the hip joints are going to slide back, pulling the hip joints back just a little bit. He's going to start feeling his posterior chain engage. Press the feet into the ground, expand the chest, and open the arms. When you open your arms, you're going to turn your thumbs away from each other into what's called an anatomical position. Bend your elbows, and you're going to pull the elbows back so that you're levering the chest open. You're not squeezing your shoulder blades together. In fact, with every breath in, it's like you're trying to push the shoulder blades out. You're going to then counterbalance. So he's in a nice little posterior chain hinge. He's going to reach the arms forward and pull the hips back. And I want you to notice the spine stays long, really long from tail to head. You can bring your fingertips all the way out to where my hand is and pull your hips back as far as you can. Breathe as big as you can in this position for 5 decompression breaths where you lift and expand the whole rib cage uniformly. At this point, you should be burning here, and your hamstrings, butt muscles, and legs are just on fire from supporting your entire body weight on the back side of your body. When you come out of it, just lift your chest up, and again, right into that anatomical position where the thumbs reach away from themselves. And they keep the chest open. They keep that posterior chain long and properly contracted. And again, it's not that belly breathing is bad. In fact, belly breathing is very good. but I want you to expand your rib cage every chance you get so that your belly breaths do more for you. And that's basic foundation training, and there's a ton of poses, there's a ton of stuff.
Right.
So much we could do, but you gotta learn the breathing pattern and the hinge patterns first.
Absolutely. Like, this was the basics. We did so many cool things. Hopefully I'll be able to show and not bastardize them too much, and not screw them up too much. Hopefully I'll be able to show some patterns that progress on this in the future.
Well, I recommend anybody. We have a website with a ton of free information because of this, and I want people to know this. I think if anybody comes to any of my lectures, you realize very quickly this has nothing to do with anything other than how the user feels. And I want you to feel well. Go to foundationtraining.com, use my free videos, and listen to this guy.
Awesome. Doc, thank you so much. It was awesome for you coming on.
Yeah.
Guys, I really hope this helps you out. And until tomorrow, we are optimizing function to optimize performance.